Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining me. It's because of your kind support that the channel is growing in numbers as in popularity. Today we have with us Sanjat Patnaik, your favorite panelist, and a person who brings you excellent topics to discuss. Welcome, Sanjat. You're on mute.
Yeah. So much, ma'am,
Welcome.
and welcome to your viewers also. Looking
Yes.
forward to an
Thank you so much, Sanjat.
exciting evening with them.
Thank you. Okay. So today we are going to discuss what went on behind the 26/11 terrorist attack in Mumbai. Both of us think that it is very relevant to what is happening, and also, a lot of it also seems to be covered in Sushant's diaries as well. So I hope we can find the linking, the links to all this. Okay. So let's go to the topic. It's 26/11 terrorist attack. On the night of November 26, 2008, 10 Pakistani-based terrorists launched a coordinated shooting and bombing attack in Mumbai at 5 major locations, killing 166 people and injuring over 300 people. The Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorists targeted 5 prominent places of the financial capital: Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus railway station, Nariman House business and residential complex, Kama Hospital, Leopold Cafe, the Oberoi Trident Hotel, and Taj Hotel and Tower. The terrorists reached Mumbai on a hijacked fishing trawler from a Pakistani port in Karachi. Before we hand it over to Sanjat, I'd like to recount 4 heart-rending, stories of survivors, which will make you feel the gravity of the horror that people present there encountered. On the fateful night, the day, a banquet manager at Taj was hosting a party for 65 guests in the banquet hall. Soon, when the organizers came to know about the gunmen, they immediately locked all the doors and switched off the lights. When the guests started panicking, the organizers calmed them down as they didn't want to attract attention. The banquet manager herself tried not to panic. When the manager's mother called, she lied. She said she's safe at home. She was scared to say goodbye. They all finally escaped at 5 in the morning through the window. When she met her mother, the latter first slapped her and then hugged her tight. It was extremely hard to move on for her, but her family at Taj helped her get through everything. The second tale is that of Saurav Mishra, who was enjoying a normal evening with his 2 friends at the Leopold Cafe. Suddenly, Mishra saw a table at a nearby diner getting smashed. Mishra heard a blast and something hit him from behind. He immediately ran out of the pub. Next thing he saw was blood oozing out of his body parts. Mishra couldn't move his right hand. After hopelessly shouting for help and reaching a point he couldn't move, a 19-year-old hawker grabbed him and took him to a hospital. Mishra's 2 friends were also injured and hid under the table. They were later helped by 2 gentlemen. Mishra said that day every hospital doctor and nurse restored his faith in Mumbai and humanity. The third incident is about Hemant Oberoi, the former executive chef of Taj Hotel. He was wrapping up the day when he was informed about the terrorists. He immediately told his staff to switch off the lights. There were also scared guests at the gateway room. Oberoi then took most of the guests to the chambers as the terrorists kept moving. Meanwhile, the staff was in touch with the security team. While they waited to be rescued, Oberoi and other chefs started making sandwiches with anything at hand. Oberoi then blocked every passage to the chambers and decided to start evacuating everyone. It was a short sprint from his office to the main road. Oberoi lost many young chefs that day. He had to inform some of the families. It was the hardest thing for him. The fourth incident was that of a restaurant owner of Refresh at the Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus station. He heard gunshots coming from the nearby washroom. He asked people to hide under the tables. And where was he? Standing outside, and then got shot twice. Why was he standing outside? Because behind him stood 18 cylinders. If they had got shot, they would have exploded, killing all those he saved. Thereafter, the brave man with one bullet in the abdomen and one in the chest, took a cab to Bombay Hospital all alone. The following day, he slipped in coma and was declared dead. But soon his organs started healing and he was back. There were many others like Saurabh and Hemant who had witnessed one of the most terrifying days in the history of Mumbai. The genocide scarred the memories of many. But let's not forget how the entire city stood united and came out of the attack. Hats off to the Mumbai police, the Taj staff, and all the people of Mumbai who restored faith in humanity. Now we'll move to Sanjat and he'll give us the details of what exactly happened behind scenes. Yes, Sanjat.
Right. Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. And in case at some point of time I'm not audible, please let me know, because I think there is some glitch going on in terms of audio. So kindly let me know so that I can restart and join again. Now to start with, I would like to thank you and Deepthi. And both of you, madams, are very, very brave. And the kind of things which are coming out and we are able to listen and see are really eye-opening. And it is upon us, the viewers, to take it in the right spirit. And any information in my rule, any information is good. And the bravery and courage shown by both of you is really admirable, ma'am. Thanks a lot from viewers' side to you both.
So nice.
And to start, thank you so much, ma'am. To start with, to give a brief background to the viewers. See, most of the viewers might have heard about 2611. Now, I would be talking about regular facts. Apart from that, there would be some alarming facts also and surprising facts also, which were not there in the newspaper or news media. So there would be some trivia, or there would be some capsules of some surprise facts also, which we would be naturally, I'm sure they would not be knowing in toto. Now to start with this Mumbai terror attack, I would give a brief background why these terror attacks happen. See, this terror attack was considered to be a Islamist terror attack on India. Now, talking about the present Islamist terror attack, it is relatively new. See, the battle between kings, the battle between kingdoms, the battle between Rajas, Maharajas, or Sultans, or emperors are going on for long. But the kind of terror attack that we are seeing nowadays, that is some 5 men, 15 men, or lone wolf coming and blowing himself up, is a recent phenomenon, relatively recent phenomenon. It was not there earlier. Earlier it was led by emperors or kings or leaders, political leaders. This all started in World War I. In World War I, this jihad mentality of using some group of people to revolt with arms and ammunition and terrorize and kill people actually was started in World War I, where the fight was between basically UK, United Kingdom, and France at one side, the Turkey's Ottoman Empire and Germany at the other side. Now, Ottoman Empire in 1916 or those times, early 20th century, was very, very powerful in those areas, and they had a pact with Germany. When World War I broke out, Ottoman Empire had an agreement with Germany to support them. So Ottoman Empire and Germany was at one side, and UK and France was at other side. What happened is, to break that Ottoman Empire considered people from Turkic background and Arab background also. So, as always, divide and rule policy, they do everywhere they go. The British colonizers thought that they would do divide and rule policy there also. So they started providing weapons, fund, ideological congregation, meetings and everything to the Arabs there as tribes to revolt against the Turkic Empire, that is Ottoman Empire. There is a very, very famous movie called as Lawrence of Arabia, old movie, but that is based on a real story. And if anyone watches that movie, that movie has won Academy Awards also. It's a very good movie. And the scenes depicted there, or the history depicted there, is near to the facts. So that is how this lone wolf or a tribe coming in or a team forming and attacking for a cause called as some religious war started from that point onwards. Now, naturally, after British used it, then USA used it in Afghanistan also. When Russia invaded Afghanistan, so USA funded and supplied weapons and made the teams of Mujahids or Al Qaeda or whatever terrorist organization we see nowadays were made by USA itself to attack Russia. Now, after that, what happened is India, 1947, India and Pakistan got divided, and we went into two camps. One is Pakistan, which was into USA, completely USA camp, and CIA funded their military, CIA trained their military, CIA supplied their weapons, and India was although non-aligned, but we were aligned towards Russia. The reason of Pakistan being held by USA was that USA wanted to have somewhere near adjacent to Russia, somewhere they can have a base, and in case of any threat, they can attack Russia. That was the main reason of USA supporting Pakistan in those days. So this jihad mentality was brought in by USA, and they used Pakistan and Afghanistan to defeat Russia. And after Russia came out of Afghanistan, then these mujahids or these people which they have built for a pan-Islamic world or conquer. There is a term called Ghazwa-e-Hind. If people know, they can go and search on Google. That's a real term. So there is a doctrine that there would be a final war between the believers of certain faith and among Hindus of India. And in that final war, India would be conquered and it would be a Islamic state. That is the doctrine. So through that, that is the motivating factor which goes on in pushing all these terrorists into India. Now, people might feel bad that why I'm bringing in religion, but see, when the attacks are religion based, when we are losing people, although we might not be fighting a religious war, but the people who are killing our own countrymen in hundreds and in our soldiers in hundreds, they are fighting a religious war. So, religious is a topic which we should discuss. We cannot shy away from mentioning that. That's not a bad topic. So this is how this happened, and in so Kashmir was always wanted by Pakistan. In Benazir Bhutto's time, also they conducted jihad against India so that Kashmir would go to him. And I have seen one old Benazir Bhutto's speech near India-Pakistan border, where she was urging these mujahids to go and do jihad against India so that Kashmir would be there. Why I'm talking about Kashmir? Because Kashmir would also come to 2611. That is linked. See, there in 1999, there was a aeroplane hijack, IC-814, which was going from Kathmandu to New Delhi. People like me who were their kids then, basically, we are young people, so we have seen that through our own eyes. But the younger generation, if they are watching, it was a horrible hijack, and a flight which was coming from Kathmandu to India was taken to finally to Kandahar, Afghanistan, and through Pakistan and everything. And in Kandahar, actually, the Kandahar was under control of Taliban. So everyone knows Taliban. So Taliban was created by Pakistan, and Taliban was controlled by Pakistan. And their sole demand was getting 3 terrorists out of India who were in prison at that point of time. So this is how it started. Now, if this is how it started. Terrorists were there. They wanted their freeing those terrorists, and one of those terrorists are said to be mastermind of this Mumbai attacks. Now let us come to Mumbai attacks. Any questions till now, ma'am? So anything that people want to know? No. Great. So before Mumbai attacks, before I come to Mumbai, I will start from the journey of Ajmal Kasab. Everyone would have heard of Ajmal Kasab. He was one of the 10 terrorists who were caught in India for this attack, and I will start with the journey. See, Ajmal Kasab, along with as per Ajmal Kasab's own interrogation tapes, if you go to YouTube and search, there are some tapes of Ajmal Kasab interrogation where he is given a truth serum and he is going on blabbering about what he was doing. So he has admitted that there were around 25 to 30 people in the camp in Kashmir in a hilly area where they were trained for around 2-3 months for this mission. And out of that 20, 30, around 13 were selected and finally 10 were sent. And they started off on 8th of morning, on 8th of morning, on 8 o'clock morning on 22nd of November from Karachi port. Through a small boat, they traveled for around 30-40 minutes. Whatever I'm saying, this narration is part of official report. So this is fact based. So many people would not be aware of the details. That's why I'm going into the details. So after 40 minutes of the local boat riding, they got into a larger boat, which was called as Al Hussein boat. Now, initially on the first day, there were around 7 people. After that, around 3 people joined them. So there were 10 in total. And they had to spend the entire day on the boat, taking stock of their ammunitions, taking stock of their whatever supply they got. We got some pictures of what Indian forces seized from them. We saw that later part. So they got acclimatized with the ration, stock, ammunition, and everything, their mission, everything. And they were carrying GPS. They were carrying satellite phones. And while they were berthed at Karachi port, there was another vessel from India which was berthed beside them, neighboring them. And that was called as motor vessel Kuber, MV Kuber. That was basically owned by an Indian person. Captain was Mr. Solanki. And so they kidnapped all those 5 members, killed 4. Only captain was alive. And he was made to navigate from there to Mumbai on that motor vessel Kuber.
Yeah. Sanjat,
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Nisha is just asking you, this Al Hussein boat belonged to whom?
Yeah, Al Hussein boat belonged to the chief of LET, Lakvi.
Yeah.
Laskar-e-Toiba was the gang, which is the group which actually claimed responsibility for the attack. And the chief of Laskar-e-Toiba was Lakvi. And it is said that Lakvi owned this boat, Al Hussein. But Al Hussein did not come all the way. Al Hussein was in Karachi. So from Al Hussein, they shifted to motor MV Kuber, which was an Indian boat captained by an Indian captain Solanki. And they started off from there on 23rd. On 23rd, they started. And on 26th, I think on 26th. Yeah. On 26th November, Solanki was killed when they were nearing the Mumbai Kolaba area. See, there is a fisherman slum area in Kolaba, South Mumbai. So that is on sea beaches. So they were heading towards that. Now, please mind the word heading. Okay, heading towards that point, Kolaba. Why I said heading is that Kolaba point was GPS tracked by another person known as David Coleman Headley. So Coleman Headley was the recon man who came earlier, and actually he selected the place in Kolaba where their boat would come. So after getting alert from MB Kuber, they got into a rubber dinghy, and from that rubber dinghy they came to the fisherman's slum. Up till this time, they have reached Mumbai. Now, after they reached slum, some of the fishermen, because they were basically from Punjab province of Pakistan, so their language was basically Pakistani Punjabi. So some of the fishermen, as per the report, some of the fishermen actually asked them that why have you come here and where have you come from? So they told them कि नहीं तुम अपना धंधा देखो, तुम इसमें दिमाग मत लगाओ, आप अपना धंधा देखो, मेरे ज़्यादा पूछताछ मत करो करके वो लोग चले गए. And these fishermen actually reported these people to the local police. But naturally, we know local police could not know at that point of time that it was so dangerous. So somehow, among all these reports, this all got lost. So the initial report to law enforcement agency was done on 26th only. I see 27th. Yeah. Now after they reached Mumbai, there were 10 people. 10 people were divided into 5 groups. And there were 5 targets, 5 major targets. And as Veena ma'am told, the first one group went to Cafe Leopold. And people who don't know Cafe Leopold is a very, very old cafe in Mumbai. Around, I think, 1867 was when it was established. And many foreigners visit there. See, the objective of the terrorists and their handlers. We'll talk about their handlers also. Their handlers were in constant touch with the terrorists, and at one point of time, around I think first or second day, even our agencies were tapping their conversations, and their conversations are also out on YouTube. So if people who are interested, they can hear that to those conversations. They were live conversations going on. So one team went to Cafe Leopold, and another team with Ajmal Kasab and I think Ismail, the other guy Ismail. Two guys went to Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus. At that point of time, it was known as Victoria Terminus. They went to Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus. Now, the most horrible killing started at Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus because it was full with people. They started indiscriminately firing, and there were around 13 or 14 policemen also were there. But out of that 13 or 14 policemen, I think everyone except one actually ran away. Only one policeman. There is a video. There is a documentary, and you can see those videos. Also.
Yeah.
That one policeman stood there, and afterwards he was joined by one ASI also, and with their old 303 guns. This constable had one 303 gun, and that ASI had one revolver. They tried to attack. The Kasab and his partner, and another policeman who was actually passing by, who was not on duty. He also volunteered, and he was good in firing weapons. So he took the weapon from the standing policeman there. Yes, ma'am. Any questions still, ma'am? Anything?
No, not.
Great. So once they started firing, this was old. As we know, the rifle that is provided to our own and law enforcement would be some rifle which would be manual or with 7 bullets, and they were carrying automatic weapons, AK-47s. So they killed this policeman. Apart from this policeman, there were many families, many children, many women. It was completely a mess. At this point of time, Meena ma'am, if we can bring up that PowerPoint, if we can show those slides, it would be great. See, there are some pictures. There are many pictures, but I have selected. We have got some pictures to show to the viewers. So Meena ma'am has it with her. So that's one picture would be a little bit graphic because of the bullet injury. So viewer discretion is advised. Is this the first one, ma'am? Yeah, this is the first one, I think. Can we go on slideshow mode, ma'am, if possible, so that the pictures. Yeah, great. That's okay, ma'am. That's okay. Yeah, that's all right. Great, ma'am. See, these are 3 locations which were on target. One is on a traffic square, which was inhabitant. The top left corner is Kama Hospital. We'll talk about that also. See, this Kama Hospital has very, very huge importance because as per official reports and as per reports also, Mr. Hemant Karkare, the then ATS chief, and two of his colleagues were killed here at this near this Kama Hospital. We'll come to that. The people lying there is the Chhatrapati Shivaji terminal that I was talking about. See the kind of carnage it was going on. The regular people, I think the train was going to Patna. From Mumbai to Patna was the train. And they were regular middle class, lower middle class people on the station. And they were all fired upon indiscriminately. It is completely devastating. And one is of the Cafe Leopold, the right top corner is Cafe Leopold. This is the cafe where actually another attack happened. Yes, ma'am. We can go to the second slide and then third. Yeah. See, this is Ajmal Kasab. This is the person who, the lone person who was caught and who was alive at the end of this carnage of 3 days on 29th of November. And his catching stories, the way he caught was also very, very courageous, and we should learn about that. The two pictures are, one picture is him being at the station, and the second is when he was interrogated through this truth serum. So he was blurting out whatever he was doing, so police was interrogating him. So I thought this picture would interest people. And the third man for now, and then we can go back to normal video. See, these are the 10 terrorists. Two of them are graphics, so people who are concerned, please don't look at it. So these are the 10 terrorists. I have the name with them, but there's no point of telling all of their names. There's no point of making them famous right now. Out of this, only Ajmal Kasab actually lived and later hanged. Yes, ma'am. We can go to normal video mode. Thank you so much, Meena, ma'am. I think I'm bothering you with this, all these pictures and everything. Thank you so much, Meena, ma'am. I'm not able to hear you.
Just one point. Yeah, just one point that I wanted to mention here, Sanjat, is that during the terror attacks, Nagrali, who's now the police chief, he stepped out of his residence on his own in order to help. So when he reached the area of Hotel Taj, which had been attacked by the terrorists, he found a bag containing RDX lying nearby. He immediately took it to a safer place and thereby saved several lives, a policeman said. Along with 4 other policemen, Nagreli then entered the Hotel Taj, where they also helped rescue a number of injured persons and shifted them to hospitals. So this is another man who is one of the heroes during that time.
Yes.
Please continue.
Yes.
Please.
Yes. So now I will go through the journey, where they have gone and what they have done.
Yes.
So CST, in CST, that is Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus, 58 people were dead and 104 injured. That is the official number. 58 dead in a matter of some minutes only. And incidentally, once there were many stories, survivor stories, where a child's actually father, mother, his uncle, auntie, and everyone was killed, and he was the only one alive because he was under his mother. Although his and there was another story where a child was crying, a mother went to pick up the child, but this Ajmal Kasab and his friend fired upon her, and she died there. But the child survived. So there are many horrific stories there. And once they were,
there's a question from Jaspreet Singh. Sanjat ji, was Paramveer Singh involved in the 2611? Perhaps you may answer her when you come to that point.
Yes, I would come to that point. Actually, not in 2611, but yes, in some other case which is linked to 2611.
Yes.
He was mentioned officially. So we would come to that now. So 58 dead, 104 injured, official figure.
Yeah.
Just a moment. Now what happened is there was a police. They exited the CST and went towards this Kama hospital. They saw this hospital, and this was a Kama hospital for women and differently abled hospital. But they thought that they would go into that hospital and kill as many patients possible, because their handlers were consistently reminding them of a high value targets, so that see what happens is when terrorists attack, they want their attack to be made famous possible. That is their main motive. That is why they are called terrorists. They want to spread terror. So as big the news is, that their motive is attached. So here also they went into the hospital, and somehow the hospital staff locked all the patient wards, and they could not kill any patient. But there was a doctor who was walking in, so they tried to attack the doctor by knife, but that somehow the doctor kicked them off and got some stabs, but ran away from there. While coming out from there was a police car which was coming in. That was a police van basically. And in that police van, Mr. Hemant Karkare and 6-7 other people were there. According to the witness, the lone policeman actually who survived this carnage, that he said that these people came out of dark and fired indiscriminately at the car, and Hemant Karkare and 2 other officers also were killed at the spot then and there only. And apart from that, 2 or 3 other people who were in the last row of the van, the constables and those type, they were also killed. Only one person survived because he was also beneath the dead bodies. And they threw down the dead bodies and they took the car, the van, police van, and they started off toward their next journey. And while starting off to the next journey, they stopped their car and hijacked some other Skoda car. And while going, they met with an police checkpost. In Mumbai language, it is called as Naka. They were obstructed by a police checkpost. And this is where some policemen were there, and this Ajmal Kasab had AK-47, and this police came to arrest them, and Ajmal Kasab fired indiscriminately at them. Tukaram Omle, he was assistant sub-inspector at that point of time. We should all thank him, because he is the person who got hold of the AK-47's barrel. Even though he was firing bullets, he did not leave Ajmal Kasab. And once he caught hold of the gun, other 8-9 policemen who were there, they also jumped in and arrested Ajmal Kasab. And the other terrorist was killed then and there itself in the firing itself. And so that is how he was caught. So this is one chapter. Ajmal Kasab caught, and his accomplice, his team member, is killed. Yes.
Yes, Sanjat. I'd just like to mention one incident of a girl who identified Kasab. Can I just mention that?
Yeah, please.
Yes. See, Devika Rotavan, who at the age of 10 was the youngest witness to identify terrorist Ajmal Kasab in the trial court in the 26/11 Mumbai terrorist attack. And her family today are in the verge of being rendered homeless, even as they await the government's response to a Bombay High Court order for considering her plea for getting a home. So here, Sanjat, this girl, she was the one who, she also got a bullet in her, I think, in her leg.
Yes.
In her leg, yes. Yeah. So.
And I saw those videos, ma'am. I saw that video when she was going to the court for appearance, actually. She was on those crutches. There was wooden crutches. Yeah. She was walking on wooden crutches and going to testify.
What she said was she was walking. She was with her father Natwarlal, waiting to catch a train to Pune to meet her brother Bharat. So suddenly, she says, we heard some gunshots and loud booming sounds. People shrieking, crying, running helter-skelter. We were caught in the melee and the complete chaos. As we tried to escape, I stumbled, felt a numbing pain and blood oozing from my leg. I realized that I had been shot. I collapsed and was unconscious till the next day. Devika, who's now 21, said, recalling the chilling night of the horror at the terminus. Somehow, she was rushed to the Sir J.J. hospital nearby, where the next day she underwent a surgery to remove the AK-47 bullet lodged in her right leg. Over the next 6 months, there were other surgeries on her leg. And in the following 3 years, it came to 6 operations, which finally made her mobile and independent. She was very small. I lost my wife Sarika in 2006 and have 2 other sons. We cared for her despite great odds and little help coming from her for her education or future, the father said. Those 3 years were bad. I initially shifted to my native Samarpur village in Pali district, where my father, brothers, and other relatives cared for me. Soon after, she said that we had to return to the court cases. So this is one incident, Sanjay, that happened. Eyewitness
Yes,
who
yes, yes. Very, very brave girl
identified.
and very, yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And
Please
this is
continue.
a very brave girl and very brave family actually. At that point of
Yes.
time, coming against these world famous terrorists actually is a very, very brave thing to do, and really
Yes.
salute to them. Really salute to them. So one target Chhatrapati Shivaji, second Cafe Leopold gone. So Cafe Leopold was grenaded actually. They lobbed one grenade at Cafe Leopold. 10 people died. Uh, 10 people died and many others injured. Now, after about 5 minutes, these two terrorists ran towards Taj Hotel. It is all in close proximity. This is South Mumbai. All the location that we are talking about are in close proximity. So these two people started towards Taj Hotel. Now, Taj Hotel is where the maximum hostage situation and maximum action took place, and people were killed. More number of people were killed, and there were international tourists also and visitors who were there. So the reason of their targeting Taj is because Taj is one of the iconic buildings in Mumbai. Number one. Number two, there would be people of almost all the Western nationalities. So these their attack would make news everywhere. So I would go through how this Taj Hotel went on. Four terrorists, Sohaib, Javed, and two terrorists who attacked Leopold Cafe, Hafiz, Arshad, and Nasir, targeted Taj Mahal Hotel. The first pair entered the main lobby at 9:38 in the evening, opened fire, killing 20 persons in the first few minutes. So, though the moment they entered, they opened fire in the lobby, and within few minutes, 20 persons were killed. The second pair entered the hotel from North Court entrance at 9:43 and fired indiscriminately and hurled grenades. The four terrorists moved up to the sixth floor of the heritage wing, killing anyone who came in their way. They set fire to a portion of the hotel. Now they set fire to a portion of the hotel. See, this fire incident is also not spontaneous. I was listening to the conversation, what was going on. So this handler was talking in Hindi, and he told them to get some mattresses and pillows and everything, and light a fire. And although initially these people tried to get into rooms, but they could not get into rooms, so these terrorists said that no, we are not able to get into rooms, so we are not able to get mattress. So he told, no, you have to get it, because unless you have fire and smoke there, people would not notice. So that is how this fire incident started. So they started this fire from mattress and pillows so that people would come there. And in this, the first, fifth, and sixth floors of Heritage Wing were badly gutted. Some of these events have been captured on CCTV cameras installed in the hotel. Those CCTV videos are present on YouTube. If anyone interested, they can go and see. Eight police personnel from the local police station rushed to the hotel and cordon off the area. Thereafter, commandos of Indian Navy reached the hotel. The next day, National Guards took over. And there was a hostage situation going on, and till now, 29th of November, it went on, and around 450 guests were rescued during different periods of time, and 32%, including hotel guests and staff, were killed. A major in the NSG was also killed. See, this major of the NSG was killed at the last of the moment. If you listen to the conversation among the Pakistani handler, Lakwi, and these people, the last person was stuck in a bathroom, and when these commandos entered his area, So and he was asking. So this his Pakistan handler was asking, what has happened? You keep your your phone on so that we can hear to it. And he asked him, have you killed anyone? He told, yes, actually I have killed one commando, and that's how he reported. And after that, he kept his phone on. And after that, one hears some gunshots and some loud explosions, and the line is cut. So that means that was his last moment.
Yeah.
So another target was the Oberoi Trident Hotel. Oberoi Trident Hotel also around 26th evening, around 22, around night in the 10. Abdul Rahman Chota and Fahadullah entered Trident Hotel. The IED, they exploded IEDs. Then they went to upper floors of Oberoi, killing guests and staff. Finally, they holed up on 16th and 18th floors, where they kept many guests hostage. NS commandos took charge of the operation on 27th on 2008. The operation were concluded after 48 hours in the afternoon, 28th of November, and those 2 terrorists were killed. And in this Oberoi, 33 persons were killed. And the last major target. See, within this, when they were moving around, they were firing upon people, and on the road itself, some people got injured. Some reporters or journalists got injured. And we would come to those journalist parts also, and various parts, how it all happened. So what I'm talking about is the event now. Then I will talk about who were the collaborators and who were the facilitators and who actually helped the terrorists to carry out this operation for 3 days in India.
Yeah.
So after that, there was a Jewish house called as named as Nariman House. It was bought only 2 years ago in 2006, where a rabbi, a Jewish priest, and his wife and his child. The child's name is Moshe. He was very famous at that point of time. He was a toddler, I think 2-year-old. And these people entered their house and killed 4 of them, took 2 hostage, and taking these 2 hostage, they actually negotiated. They told these hostages to call their Israel embassy, and this hostage called to Israel embassy. Israel embassy again called to this hostage saying that yes, we are preparing their demands. You would be surprised what were the demand. Their demand was that the person that you have caught hold of, that is Ajmal Kasab, please release him with all the weapon and everything at this Nariman house out at our point. Then only we would not kill this hostage. So somehow 2 days went by, nothing happened, and they killed the hostages. And after they killed the hostages and fired upon the bystanders who were standing nearby from neighborhood, commandos rushed in, and there was fight went on, and they were killed. And this baby Moshe was very bravely saved by his nanny. And I think some years back we heard that her nanny, that baby Moshe's nanny, also went to Israel, and she was granted Israeli citizenship. And and baby Moshe was doing good there. So that is also one Moshe story. You remember, ma'am? That was on front pages. The cute baby.
Yeah, very touching. Very touching. Yes.
Yes. So this is how this all unfolded. And in Taj also, everyone was killed. Eventually, everyone was killed apart from Ajmal Kasab, who was arrested by Tukaram Omle. And sadly, Tukaram Omle passed away, and he attained Veer Gati. So many thanks to him.
Yeah.
Now, why thanks to him? Now we'll listen. This is the event which went on. Yes, ma'am. You want to pitch in something, ma'am?
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you that Sanjat, after this incident, about a few years after that, I went and stayed at the hotel, and they don't allow anybody to take photographs. So I was just walking around the staircase and all, and trying to visualize what had happened.
Right.
And it's the most beautiful hotel, but when it is under attack, it is like you have nowhere to go. See, that sort of it's like a trap. So I mean, yeah, so many people. It's very sad what happened, and the lives of so many people, gone by that time. Yeah.
Yes, and there was a and in this Taj Hotel itself, there was a couple from Turkey. There was a couple from Turkey, and actually, although they were part of the hostage and they were supposed to be killed, But these people did not kill them because they told them, no, we are from Turkey. So they told, no, no, आप लोग हमारे भाई लोग, you are all brothers, so we don't kill you. So somehow they were saved, but those people also tried to save other hostages. It's not that they were happy. They tried to save other hostages, especially a Singaporean lady, which they were
Yeah.
narrating. They could not save her. She was killed eventually, but they were good people, good couple. They good couple. They also tried to save, but they could not save. So
Yeah.
this is the event map. Now coming to this event was in 2008 November. If people remember, um, I think there was a Malegaon Bas case where Sadhvi Pragya was arrested.
Yeah.
Now,
Before
in my
this,
opinion,
yeah, before this, Sanjat, I think maybe later you will be talking also about Sandeep Unnikrishnan.
yes, ma'am, I would be talking
Yeah.
about him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So before after this before this 26/11, this Malegaon blast happened, and this Hindu terror bogey was um propounded by our great some of our great leaders. And even 26/11, when in the initial days there was stories going around that Ajmal Kasab was wearing a kalava. See, kalava is basically a saffron brand that we wear on our Hindus wear on right hand side, right hand wrist. So there were some theories going on that he was a Hindu. These are the Hindu people. They just to bad name Pakistan. They are doing these things. So this thing came out, and this is not a small joke. Why I'm saying small, not a small joke, because a particular Buddha whose link is from Bollywood, whose link is found in almost every murder case and every drug peddling and every terrorist or every Hawala activity, was part of a book release which was attended by that Buddha Bollywood and from another Buddha politician who was there in a Islamic setup. So this was a serious trap that they made for us. Now coming to this 26/11, how these things happened, there was a thing which bothered security agencies and law enforcement agencies, and which was taken up in courts also. The terrorist handlers were giving live instruction to the terrorists. The terrorist handler sitting in Pakistan giving live instruction to the terrorist after seeing live visuals from the Indian news channels. There were some news channels, couple 2 or 3 news channels, which were actually showing images, pictures, what was going on as it was going on over the air. And when the handlers were talking over satellite phone to the terrorist, they were talking that अरे यार वहाँ पर आग नहीं लगा है, तो वहाँ पर कोई दिख नहीं रहा है, तो आप एक काम करो, आप जो है आप यहाँ पर आग लगाओ तो दुनिया देखेगी, एंड उस तरफ hostages है, उस तरफ नहीं है, आप उस तरफ जाओ. Because what was happening is people were running out of the hotel, and while running out they were giving some numbers to the security forces there, and there were some reporters who were asking these law enforcement officers what was going on inside, where are the hostages, are the hostages in this particular hall or not. And somehow some reports came out that listening to these reports of where these hostages are, the handlers directed the terrorists to go and attack them. That is how some reports came in. But I have seen the videos where a lady reporter, a very famous lady reporter, people would know, she got fame in Kargil and this Mumbai blast. And I don't know, wherever death is, I don't know, we find her even in Corona,
Seriously.
wherever in crematoriums and in our Samsan Ghats. One lady was beaming videos and photographs, and I don't know, wherever there's death, we find one vulture kind of a person lurking there. That is very. And incidentally, in social media circles, whenever her picture is with any politician, we are sure that that politician is doomed. He cannot win the election. That is how it is considered. So people would know whom I am talking about. So although in an interview she vehemently denied that she did anything like that, and she admitted that yes, there were some mistakes on in live recording, and after second day most of the TV channels deferred it by 15 minutes. But yes, no one knows. But yes, that was the case because I have heard the tapes, and this handler was saying to this terrorist to do this and do that by listening or by seeing this live telecast on TV. So that part gone. Now coming to another interesting character, which is David Coleman Headley. Now to the viewers, the name, those who have not don't know about this person, David Coleman Headley sounds like an Australian or a American or an Irish name. And actually, this David Coleman Headley was basically Gilani. He was a complete 50% Pakistani. His father was a Pakistani named as Mr. Gilani, and this guy was his name is some Gilani. Just a moment. Yeah, he's Gilani. But in any case, he looked like a foreigner because of his Caucasian looks. By Caucasian looks, I meant he had white skin and his stature and build was everything like a Westerner. So although he was a Pakistani and brought up in Lahore, but he was looked at as a foreigner. He visibly he looked like a foreigner, and he got a passport from USA because his mother was a USA citizen. So he got a passport from USA with his name David Coleman Headley. And this David Coleman Headley is an interesting character. I will start from his antecedent. Uh, David Coleman Headley was basically a drug peddler from Pakistan to USA initially. So when he was peddling drug, he was caught by American authorities. Even after 9/11, his wife reported him to the police saying that he was happy about 9/11 and he was actually enjoying the videos and he was watching the videos whole day and he was happy about that. So in any case, police interrogated him, and I don't think they arrested. They did not arrest him. They thought that they had a fight, so they left him. And somehow later on, he was arrested due to some drug peddling. After this drug peddling, he turned into an informer, ratted on his own gang members, got his sentence reduced. His gang members got higher sentences around 8 years. He got around 2 years, and he served for only 1.5 year. And then he was recruited. Actually, he was recruited as an informer for a DEA of Drug Enforcement Agency of USA. So he was made an agent, and he was sent to Pakistan and Afghanistan to check how these drugs peddlers are working, which are the routes, and he was providing information. And apart from that, he was also involved in drug peddling, and he also got interested in because he was religiously fanatic kind of a person. So he got into terrorist. He met elite people, and he got himself trained. It's a long story from 1992 to 1999 till 2008 he was under training, and finally before 6-7 months he went into LT guys sent him before the team came, sent David Coleman Headley to Mumbai to basically take pictures, mark the targets, and basically to recon for the mission, as they say in army. And he came and stayed in Hotel Taj, photographed, videographed Taj, which points where and what, and that is why their attack was so furious. They knew what was happening there, how to do attack. Then he, I think Trident also he stayed. Then he sent pictures of all these targets, this Nariman house, Cafe Leopold. All these targets were selected by him, even to the point where their boat would come and land when they were entering. He captured the GPS coordinates and sent those GPS coordinates for them to map, and that is how they came in. Ma'am, if we can go to the other slides, we can show the viewers that some of the things that our agencies got from these terrorists.
Yeah.
They were full of stock to survive for 3, 4, or 5 days or 10 days, as long as possible.
Yes. Yes.
So while you bring it on, ma'am, let me make the viewers aware of these things.
Yeah, yeah.
See, there
Just
were
one second.
milk packets. Yeah, yeah.
Just one second, Sanjat. You can speak.
Yeah, yeah, please. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So see, these people were carrying milk packets. They were carrying wheat flour. Those are all Pakistan packaged. They were carrying face creams. See, these are one Pakistani matchbox here. There is one Pakistani matchbox here, and let's just see. Yeah. Yeah, one is Pakistani matchbox. The other one is Pakistani pickle. One is pickle packet. The left hand side upper one something written in Arabic or Urdu Arabic literature. That is pickle they got from Pakistan. Uh, then diesel container. Pakistan made diesel container. The third one is a matchbox. We can go to the next slide, ma'am, please.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, this is done, ma'am. We can go to the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one. See, these two are detergent powder made in Pakistan. So they had all their grocery, everything they had stocked. It was very well planned. They were very well planned so that they can hide out anywhere, wherever they want, and they can actually stretch it up. So they had all these
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next slide, ma'am, please. Yeah, these are the Mountain Dew cold drink and wheat flour packet, dental cream, that is basically toothpaste, shaving cream, all Pakistan made. These were all seized from these terrorists and provided in
Yeah.
court, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next slide, please, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. One second.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this will do. See, this is a handgun and some grenades. And apart from that, there was some pictures on some GPS devices also. GPS devices, mobile phones. So these are the things. This is only around one or two. Yeah, these are GPS. They were very high tech GPS, satellite phones. So they were constantly in touch. And thankfully, our Indian agencies also got to tap them, so we could know what they were doing. Yes, ma'am. We can remove this now. I think viewers would have seen
Yeah.
it. Yeah, thank you
Yes.
so much. So David Coleman Headley. So he was the point guy. Now this David Coleman Headley was friend of that son of that Bollywood Buddha. If viewers know that Bollywood Buddha's son went into a gym as per the official narrative, and that is where he met this David guy. And as per him, and this David guy actually was living a lavish life, living in a Taj Mahal hotel, and because he was a drug peddler, so he was invited into many night parties, Bollywood parties. So he would mingle with all these stars and all those all-night parties. And I think he would be supplying drugs and everything. That's why he got in. That's how he got into these parties, and that
Yes.
is how he made friendship, and that's how he could go around.
Yeah.
And incidentally, although the son of that Buddha has vehemently denied, there was no case actually against him and he was not arrested. But he was roaming around with this guy, and as per his own interview also um, with Headley. So there is some fishy thing there. So officially it is not accepted. So people can draw their own conclusion what would have happened. Apart from that, this Headley guy on 26th of November, I don't know how they communicated, but this is what this Buddha's son claimed that he told me not to go to South Mumbai on that day. On that day, this David was in Lahore, so either he would have called him up on telephone or satellite phone or email or a message, whatever it is. But on 26th 11, before these things happened, so he told this person, this Buddha's son, Junior Buddha, not to go to South Mumbai because he knew about these attacks. Afterwards, David was arrested by USA and currently is serving 35 years of prison in USA. And from India, actually, video conference went on when the case went on, and eventually he was sentenced for 35 years, and he's still there, lost there. So this is all about 2611, ma'am. Anything else you want to touch upon, ma'am?
No, no. It's
Great. I think it's already 9 also. So I hope viewers would have got some.
Here, the only point, Sanjat, is that some of the police officers were involved in this. So it's very important to know, the policemen could be divided into very clearly into patriotic police as well as those who were, with the on the side of the terrorists. And also, we were talking about the hero. Also we mentioned that, Sanjat. Could you just speak a little bit about the commander who?
The commander.
Sandeep, yes.
Sandeep.
Because we cannot close 2611 without mentioning the death of this martyr.
Yeah. Let me check out my handout. I think I have lost that paper, and usually, if you can, I have lost that paper right now, ma'am. So I would talk about him in some other episode, because it would not be right to say something wrong, which I am not aware of factually.
Yes.
So I would take some other time to talk about him.
Yes. So friends, there were many heroes who died saving people, and one of them was Sandeep, and we'll never forget that. And even today, his parents are, honored every year for this, the sacrifice that he made. Not only him, there were many people who, became heroes that day. So it was a very, sad event, but it was something that could have been avoided if the politicians had not worked hand in glove with our enemies, and these terrorists. And even today, Sanjat, if you ask me, I know I'm being a little suspicious, but even today, I'm not sure whether Ajmal was truly hacked. I'm not sure.
Yes. See, this is even with Osama bin Laden also, this theory is there, if these terrorists are hanged or not.
Yeah, because why? The reason I'll tell you. The reason was that one person a farmer in Pakistan said that he had seen Ajmal in his village after this.
Yes, ma'am. I have heard about that thing. See, these things we will never know. See, what happens is this intelligence agencies throw out some kind of story so that the others who knew Ajmal Kasab might come out and do some mistakes. So we can never know actually if he was really killed or not. But yes, officially he was told that he was killed. So that is what we're taking. But yes, there is a chance of anyone for that matter being alive who was claimed to be killed, including Osama bin Laden.
Because we did not have a very friendly government at that time.
Yes, ma'am. Even for that case, ma'am, even if you see the Osama bin Laden's picture, which was flashed initial times, it has proven to be a Photoshop. It was of some other guy mingled with some Osama's picture. So it was not a real Osama's picture. So no one has seen death of Osama, and they say that they have thrown the body into the sea. And I don't know if they would do that, if someone would do that to the body of Osama.
It is too. Right. So this is a doubt that we had, viewers, and we're just sharing it with you. But thank you for being with us, and thank you, Sanjat, for this wonderful research that you have done. Each story is linking to a greater crime, as expressed through the diaries as well. And these all lead to the fact that India has to be cleansed of these terrorists, these drug peddlers, these all the underworld and these producers who tie up with the Hawala racket and the child trafficking. So this is, a cleansing that has to happen. Hopefully it will happen under Narendra Modi's government. We pray for that. Thank you, Sanjay.
Yes. Thank you so much. Good night, ma'am. And good night, viewers.
Yeah, good night. Good night.